Hi, Nancy here again, and this is the first session of the holidays. So finally, you are probably just starting to relax, and these sessions will be more focused on the now, obviously, on the things that you're doing right now, not on the things you left at school, not on the things that you will come back to school in September, but on the holidays, on the now. So today we're going to cover the topic of attention because it's all about where we place our attention. And where attention goes, they say, energy flows. And so at this very minute, I want you to just notice, where is your mind? Where is your mind? So you are listening to me and you are probably looking at this screen. And while I'm saying those things, I want you to just notice where your mind is. If you are paying attention to what I'm saying, then your mind is right here. But for how long can your mind stay there? And I want you to just notice. If I tell you something about anything different from the screen, your mind will go to that something. So if, for example, right now, I tell you to notice your toes, and you don't need to look at them, just notice them. I want you to see where your mind goes. Now, if I, instead of the toes, tell you to notice or pay attention to your knees, where is your mind? And then I tell you to pay attention or notice your back. So every time that I'm giving you an instruction, you are going to think or pay attention to that part of the body. Now, that is in the physicality of things, but what about where your mind goes to abstract places like memories? So if you think that you can go into your mind to places that are there because they are stored as memories. So now, if you close your eyes for a second, and I want you just to maybe remember something really good that happened to you, or a party you went to, or a wedding, something like where you were with lots of people and you were having a great time. Now, that might be your experience. I hope it's a happy one. So if it's a happy one, I want you just to pay attention to, when you're paying attention to that memory, how are you feeling in your body? And feel the temperature. Is it warm? Is it cold? Like where in your body does that nice feeling feels? I want you just to notice the emotion and how is your body feeling. Mhm. Normally, when we're having a good memory, we feel expansive. We feel expanded. We feel warm and nice. It's a nice feeling. But I just want you to notice how that feels in your body. And now I want you to forget about that memory and then bring a memory of maybe something that was not really very good, something that didn't go very well. Maybe something you failed at, or maybe some disagreement you had with somebody, or maybe it was an argument, or maybe it was sadness. Something that did not feel very well. And just as you are imagining that memory, I want you to just notice how your body feels and how your body feels in relation to the good feeling. How is that different? Because we never stop and feel our bodies, isn't it? So now I want you to feel and to notice that feeling. When you are having a memory that is not very, very nice, normally we don't feel as expansive, we feel more contracted. And that can be felt maybe as tension in the body, and it could be maybe in a part of the body. But just notice. Now you can open your eyes, and I just want to bring to your attention that, whereas it's abstract thinking, or if it's thinking about things that we have around us, or things like, when we pay attention to the body, uh, anything where we are placing our attention, that's where our mind is. So those memories, when you think of abstract thinking, will make you feel certain way. So imagine if you could actually use that knowledge for you to change whatever that emotion is at will. It's not about suppressing it. It's not about suppressing emotions, but about actually coming up with a way to deal with that emotion, not by going away from it, but by staying with it. And that's one of the things we're going to learn through these sessions. But for now, we need to practice, because if you want to get into how to deal with discomfort and with big emotions, first you need to learn how to pay attention to the things you want to pay attention and to stay there without running away, without flying from them, without fighting your emotions, but just by staying with those emotions and by accepting those emotions and by feeling peaceful regardless. Okay? So, for us to get to that point, at the moment, we are going to just practice. Because as we saw earlier, where our mind goes, our attention follows, or the other way around. And it depends on which lens we are looking through. And the way that we can change that perspective will come naturally once that you get used to dealing with your mind, which we don't have time for many times with our busy lives. So the first practice for this week is going to be a body scan. We did a half body scan the other day, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can go and have a look. It was a pop dog, which was a half body scan. This scan is going to be a full body scan. So sit in a comfortable position, and while sitting down, I want you just to place your feet firmly on the floor, or if you're on the floor, just cross-legged is fine too. And maybe if you have never done this before, you can just relax as well your back, maybe against a nice chair, a comfortable chair. And you're sitting there comfortably. I want you now to close your eyes. If you don't want to close your eyes, it's fine. You can just look at the floor. But the point of closing your eyes is that you don't have distractions, and you can actually pay more attention to what you want your mind to pay attention to. And I want you to now pay attention to the soles of your feet. Just notice the soles of your feet. And now notice the ankles. If you're wearing any shoes or any socks, just notice that surrounding your feet. Otherwise, just notice the texture of the floor against your skin. Just notice any feelings, notice any thoughts that come up. Just notice. And now we're going to go up to the shins. And from the shins, we go to the knees. And now we go up, upper legs. Wherever you're sitting, just notice that piece of furniture that is supporting your body weight. And notice your hips and see where is all your body weight feeling that is more supported, where. And try to notice, maybe you can notice any sensations when I tell you to pay attention to the space in between that piece of furniture and your body. What are those sensations? Can you tell where that boundary is? And now pay attention to your stomach as it goes up and down while you breathe. And it's normally here where I pay attention to any discomfort. If I feel tense, if there is any tension around, just notice. And then breathe in into that part that feels tense. For me, it's often the back or the shoulders, could be the neck. Stretch a little bit and then breathe it out. Sometimes the discomfort can be on the stomach. Just breathe in if there is any tension, or at the heart area, and breathe it out. So you breathe in, fresh new air in the present, and then you breathe out. The tension stays in the past. So breathe in, and then go up to the area of the heart, and then just notice the area of your heart. How is that area feeling? As the stomach goes up and down with the breathing in and out, what is the connection between that area that is coming in and out, the stomach, and then the heart? And then we go up to the shoulders. If there is any tension still, just breathe in. Notice the tension and then breathe out. And then we feel the arms, the hands. Just relax, let go. We have the neck and the face. Sometimes there is tension in the jaw, which is where we keep as well sometimes stress. And maybe you can feel your scalp. You breathe in, breathe out. Notice your eyes, behind your eyes, your nose. When you get to the nose, breathe in, feel the air coming through your nose. And try to notice where that air is going. Try to notice if you can sense the air going through your throat, going down to your lungs, and somehow is getting to actually lift your stomach up and down. Any sensations or thoughts, just see them, observe them. Don't engage, just observe and go back to your breath. If you get distracted, just go back to your breath. Breathe out. And whenever you're ready, you can wiggle your toes, you can wiggle your fingers, stretch, and open your eyes. And that was a good session. So it is not all going to be all about just closing your eyes and feeling your breath. So stick around for the rest of the sessions if you want to find out what else there is for the next weeks.